Hey everyone, this is Jordan at the Music Zoo. I'm here with my new friend, James Nichols.
What's up, man?
Brother,
Let's talk.
We're speaking the same language.
Come on, let's go.
With one pickup guitars.
Yes, we are.
Before we get into the details of your signature Epiphones, why don't you just tell me where your love for one pickup guitar started?
Well, it really started, so it's a long love affair, right? I heard them before I knew what they were. So we've talked about it many times, but like, I was listening to like Mountain, Leslie West, hearing that P90 sound.
Totally.
Hearing that across, whether it was The Who or even being a kid hearing like Green Day. Like I was like, oh, that guitar sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. But it took a while until I was actually playing guitar to realize the power of that and the power of one pickup. I was in a rehearsal studio in LA and watch your feet. Joe Perry walks in with this producer, Jack Douglas, and he goes, he needs to play a real Les Paul. So I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, who doesn't?
They go and they get a black Les Paul custom with a single P90 in it. Like it had been modded.
Okay.
And the holes were still there and everything.
I think it's been around on Instagram.
Yes.
I've seen this guitar before.
So I remember hitting a chord. I just hit one chord and I went, whoa, it feels different.
Yeah.
It's more direct. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, there's no other magnet pole. I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a scientist.
That's science. We're musicians.
This is science stuff.
This is crazy.
So what I do know is the way it makes me feel and the way it makes me play. It's more primal.
It's the most important part, I think.
Yeah, and there's something special about interacting with your volume and tone knobs.
Yeah, for sure.
And how hard you pick, how hard you lay into it, or how soft you play. It's just so vocal, and I got obsessed with it.
Yeah,
I got obsessed
for sure.
with the thing where I was like, I need to tame this. And I think with single pickup guitars, anyone that tries one will realize very quickly, like, wow, it's very simple in its design, but it's so complex.
It's kind of like the ultimate freedom for sure. I remember when
100%.
I first started working here, like seeing a Junior or like an Esquire.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, there's so much more room to like work around it, especially for a player like you who doesn't use a pick.
Absolutely.
I hate to bring up the pickless thing.
No,
but
yeah, it's
everyone's
great.
all talk about it. Like you have so much more room in your hands to dig, and
There's
maybe
nothing
even
there to get in the way.
Do you anchor your hands to like the high E string sometimes?
Yeah, you know what's funny is on my older Les Pauls, you can see it, but like for some reason I always put my pinky down here, right? Because there's a big mark now. But yeah, I anchor my hand, whether it's on that bridge or just kind of putting it down like a claw, right?
It's like when you see on like an old P bass or something, like
Exactly.
someone's thumb was there.
100%.
For 3 decades, yeah.
Same vibe. And yeah, there's just something more freeing about not having anything there.
For
Even
sure.
if you played with a pick, it's like, wow, there's like a solid, half an inch that I can really dig in.
I know there's so much room there for fun.
Yeah,
So
totally.
how'd you get from that Les Paul custom you encountered with Joe to your first Epiphone, which is this guy right here? This is the Old Glory.
This is Gold Glory.
Gold Glory.
Gold Glory, yep. So there was the original one is the black. I had a black one before this that came out in 2019.
I remember that one.
And that one was the original. And then the next year we came out with Mach 2, which is, we added the G, man, the Gold Glory. But
Yeah, beautiful guitar.
so cool. I love it. It's like this like double gold kind of like antique gloss, which if you see it in person and under the lights, you can really see how cool it looks. I know sometimes you see a picture and you're like, oh, it just looks kind of flat, but it's gorgeous. And I love it because I feel like Epiphone really like nailed these colors.
Oh, for sure.
And with these guitars, I remember after playing that Joe Perry one, I was like, I got to get one. So Epiphone was like, yo, we'll give you some guitars.
Yeah.
So I get these guitars, I'm ripping pickups out of them. Fast forward like 2 years later, I started to get like synonymous with that.
Right,
And,
yeah.
and there were some bigger players that were wanting a version of that. Like, hey, can we get like a full-size Les Paul with that single P90? So they were like, hey, we want to do a signature model. And that's where the black one was born, right?
Right.
This one comes out, a few more refinements on this. Like with this one, I was able to, it's funny, I feel like they kind of honed in on what it was after that initial, the black custom.
Right.
This one started to get a little bit more refined. The way it played, I remember when they sent it, I was like, whoa, this one, I can't say it plays better, but I was like, it just feels like they kind of got it down now, right?
Yeah.
The way the neck sits and everything.
Yeah, nice chunky profile for sure.
Rover
Late
tuners.
50s,
Now we got a Duncan in the bridge.
Right.
So we have that USA Duncan in the bridge. It's the CTS pots. It just felt right.
Yeah, and then you got this one,
Yes.
which is the most recent incarnation.
Yes.
And I was just playing this through one of the amps we're playing through tonight for your
Yeah.
clinic. Monster guitar.
Slamming.
Yeah, beautiful pickup, beautiful neck, everything. Everything's identical. There's a couple different player tweaks. You got locking tuners on
Yes.
here, and you have your signature.
My signature.
Seymour
yeah,
Duncan.
Exactly. So with this one, they were like, it was almost like I thought to myself, where can we go now?
Yeah.
And with the locking, I've never used locking tuners before in a Les Paul, and they were like, just try it.
Yeah.
And it's so simple that if you are a Les Paul player or you're like, man, I like them, but I can never get them in tune, this is kind of ridiculous because like even being on the road, if I need to do a string change, pull that thing through, slam it, 2 twists, and you're already on.
Yeah.
And it just stays in tune great, and I really mean that. And then with the pickup, we did a P90 silencer, which, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, they don't sound the same. And I totally agree with you when you have like a P100 or a humbucker stack P90. But this one I went back and forth with Duncan 4 or 5 times to really get it to feel and sound right. Have that warmth and that articulation, but also still punchy and still kind of crazy, having a little hair around it.
There's also still like a part of it, like you're a guy on the road, how many months out of the year, like you need locking tuners, and like who knows when a venue has like crappy power where you're like,
Yes.
I want to knock that noise out, but still have my guitar.
Well, yeah, man, and truly, like, even this month, what month is it? It's about to be
About
June.
to be June, yeah.
And I've already done about 4.5 months on the road. So I'm always playing, and the biggest bummer is when you get to a venue with a P90 guitar,
Yep.
you show up and you're ready for sound check, and you just roll it up even a little bit. And you go,
No.
because
yeah.
then it starts to, you know, I'll grin it and I'll just get through the show, but it starts to feed into your psyche and your playing. So the one thing about this is that it frees that up for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about what lights they have and this pickup, it sounds ferocious. It's a total beast. And this guitar now is almost a sleeper because I have friends that play heavy stuff. I got friends that play country.
Yeah, I just had that thing in drop D. It was ripping.
Yes, and it's like you can get all of that out of this guitar, which is just, it's killer, and I love it.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the beginning. We were talking about like the freedom you have with the one pickup guitar, like with the pickup where you're not worried about how much noise is coming out of it. You're free to do you. You're free to make your art and create your music on stage every night.
Yeah, and what I love about these guitars, regardless if you get, you know, the original P90 or this, it's like anyone that picks these up, you're gonna sound like yourself. Like, it's just so pure and simple that when you pick it up, it has this way of inspiring you where you don't even realize it's happening and all of a sudden you're into it and it's like, it's so player friendly.
Yeah.
And Epiphone's just smashing it these days. So everyone I
Crushing.
pick up on the road, like truly, if it's been set up by a tech or not, it's like, they're all great. And it's like, okay, cool. Even if I got to take a screwdriver, I'll turn that down, adjust the action a little bit. It's like, yeah,
It's
out of the box, it's already
halfway
rocking.
already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. Who else to get your only one pickup guitars from but the Music Zoo?
That's right.
Get Jared's signature Epiphones here at themusiczoo.com. Stop into our showroom. Be sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel at The Music Zoo. We'll see you soon. Thanks,
Cheers.
Jared.
Thanks, man.
Cool.